Here I am joined by a guy that I wanted to get on the show, Ryan Hedger. He is leading this project, We the Plastic, apparently on the belief that plastic's not a bad thing for our oceans. In fact, he suggests that we shouldn't be complaining about the fact that there's plastics out in the Pacific Ocean. Instead, we should be open to the opportunities that this presents to us. So I saw some of his videos online. I thought, I got to get this guy, Ryan, on the show. Thanks so much for making time, man. How you doing?
Thanks for having me on the show, Keith. I appreciate being here, man.
Yeah. Is this your first ever radio interview?
This is my first ever. I am a virgin, and you are the one that are taking me into this scary, scary world.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've heard a lot of crazy things. I got to say that this is probably, without question, near the top of the list. But I looked up some of the things that you're saying, and I mean, there's some truth in it, man. Tell us about this project.
This is the thing.
The plastic.
This is the thing. What I am finding, man, when you speak out from against something that you have heard over and over and over, suddenly, just because you're saying it makes you crazy without even looking at it. And I appreciate you taking the time to look into it, because I'm not making this stuff up. Okay. That's what drives me crazy, is the minute that I'm saying something that is against the popular opinion, I'm seeing the struggles that have happened in this country throughout the years when you go against the norm. And that's what I'm being faced with. But yeah, I'm not saying that, that we should just throw plastic in the ocean. What I am saying is that the plastic that it's found its way in there, we need to do some research on it before we act like it didn't happen, because it's there, and there's bacteria that is growing there, and there's new life forms that are growing out there.
So where did all this start for you, man?
I grew up in Hawaii, and something that was really important to me was that the ocean was a big part of my life. And I was always someone that looked at the ocean as whatever they give to me, I will use. So instead of being the guy that pisses and moans about a plastic bottle on the beach, I would take that plastic bottle and use it. I would make art out of it. I mean, this is the thing that I find now is so incredible, is that people don't care that something – if there's a plastic bottle on the beach, there's a homeless guy that could get 5 cents for that bottle, and that is forgotten. There are people that could take advantage of that bottle and won't complain about it. Maybe we should listen to these people. And on top of it all, I'm finding more and more research that is leading me to this place that people don't want us to know about the possibilities that are out there. So I want to get to the table and have a conversation about it.
We're talking with Ryan Hedger. I guess it's probably a little early in this process for you to call this a movement. I mean, right? I mean, do you plan on growing this We the Plastic project into something bigger?
More and more people are joining every day. We are getting followers. We are getting people who are subscribing to our YouTube videos. So I'm just as surprised as you that this is turning into what it is turning into. But I'm finding that I'm not the only one that believes in this. And that's what's great about the internet, is suddenly you find, oh, there's other people who agree with me. That's amazing.
Okay,
so I'm not the only one.
Right, obviously. So this isn't your real job, right? I mean, what is it?
No, that's just never what.
What do you do full time?
I'm an amateur boxer. I teach kids boxing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, out in Santa Monica.
So do you have kids? Do you have a wife and kids? You have a family, man?
I have a very special woman in my life who I've known since we were kids, and we have been through a lot together. No kids yet, but we'll see what comes on the horizon. It's never been something we've been afraid of.
Okay.
But
what does she think of your ideas?
we've been together for so long and gone through so many things that me putting a little bit of crazy ideas out on the internet is not going to be something that she's going to have a problem with. And she's finding that the things that I'm putting out there, we're finding that there's more truths than we ever thought behind it. So she's actually surprised at all the attention that we're getting. I never thought I'd be on a radio program getting interviewed by somebody about this.
Sounds like she's been slow to convert, though. That's what I'm picking up on, Ryan.
Yeah, sure. She's been slow to convert, but so are most people.
Huh.
And it's something that the more information that I get out there, the more people will be converted.
So it almost sounds like, I don't know if you're familiar, but it kind of reminds me of the George Carlin joke where he says that the earth created humans so they could create plastic for itself. Is that,
oh, God.
You familiar with that?
Yeah. Yeah. First, Carlin was kind of a genius.
Right.
But this is what, look, I've always considered myself to be someone who thinks that there's a natural selection going on the planet. And if plastic came around and we brought plastic into this whole existence that we have on the planet, maybe the next step, we're seeing it. We don't understand it. Look, if a bird is going to be stupid enough to see plankton and a straw in an ocean, and it decides to eat the straw, why am I saving that bird?
That's a fair point.
Sometimes things reach their point of extinction. And maybe some of these animals that everybody's got up, all the bees in a bonnet about, maybe they're reaching the end of their stay.
That's where I am on turtles, actually. Turtles are not.
People love to bring up the turtles.
Right, they're not the brightest creatures. If they're shoving straws up their noses, they don't know where to cross the road. By the way, they build these tunnels. Right. But they tell people on
the planet.
Right, they tell the people along the coast to turn off your lights in your backyard if you live on the beach, so that the turtles don't mistake it for the moon and lay their eggs in the wrong places. I don't know. It seems like we've got an issue with the turtle IQ.
Dude, if a guy is walking across the street and gets hit by a car because he was listening to his iPhone, who are you going to blame? The car or the guy with the iPhone?
Ryan Hedger, this is cutting edge stuff. This is a fascinating movement in its early stages that I think is going to blossom into something larger than we can imagine at this point, because
we're a final point is everybody starts talking about microplastics, right? The microplastics.
I've heard of those.
You ever hear the notion that bacteria that gets added to a body that can somehow make it stronger? So what if somehow we're finding our way to being super fucking human? Let's at least. Now, I know that seems like a crazy idea, but has anybody looked into it? That's what I want to start talking about. These ideas that sound crazy, that sound like, well, I'm asking for the downfall of humanity. Actually, I'm talking about where humanity is going to take its next steps, potentially.
It almost sounds like you are seeing potential for creating Marvel, geez, I can't even talk, Marvel characters from pollution in our oceans. There's some potential there, huh?
Maybe that's the next step. Dude, I always say, is science fiction telling us where to go? Or are we making science fiction from, where we've been?
I love it. Ryan Hedger, is there a website that people can go to check out your stuff that you want to share with us?
#WeThePlastic.
Hashtag
#WeThePlastic.
#WeThePlastic. Ryan Hedger.
WeThePlastic.com. Before you think I'm crazy, look at what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Ryan Hedger, thanks so much for making time here.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Keith.